Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of What You Watchin'. I'm Adam.
And I'm Emily.
And today we're going to talk about a movie from 2019 starring Shia LaBeouf, Zach Gottsagen, and Dakota Johnson. A movie that not a lot of people saw, but a lot of people should, and that's why we're going to talk about it right now. And that movie's called The Peanut Butter Falcon. What do you got to think? What's your first initial thoughts on The Peanut Butter Falcon?
My initial thoughts was it's a fantastic movie that has a lot of heart, a lot of storytelling, a lot for people to learn from even. It's a movie that everyone should have seen, and I don't think people saw it either because they were worried about Shia being in it, or they just weren't sure about the premise of it. Just a lot of people didn't go and see it, which is a real shame. They really should have.
Yeah, I agree. It was made for about $6 million somewhere. That's the estimated budget. Worldwide, it brought in 22. So domestically, 22 million internationally. This is a movie that I think should have made about 75 million in theaters. I think a lot more people should have seen it. I know, went to go see it last year when it came out. I believe it came out in February 2019. Went to the theaters to see it. Happened to only have maybe 2 other people in the entire theater, and we saw it about a week after it came out, pretty early in its release.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame. It's a beautiful movie with a wonderful story and some actually amazing acting. I wasn't a fan of Shia leading into this movie. Just, over all the years, you guys all know, you've seen it in the news, I'm sure.
Left a bad taste in your mouth
after
some of those movies.
And I was like, he's such a good actor, but I'm not a big fan of him as a person. I don't really want to see his movies. It's weird. But something about this movie drew me to it, and so we saw it, and, I'm a huge fan of his now. I think his acting, along with Zach Gottsagen, they held that movie together. Zach plays a character named Zach, young man, 20-year-old, 23-year-old with Down syndrome, who dreams of being a professional wrestler. So he tries to run away from the old folks' home that he lives in, away from his caretaker, to go on this epic journey where he meets Shia LaBeouf's character, Tyler. And they travel together getting into this school because Tyler's also running away from his past and from some bad times that he got into. And while they're journeying together, Dakota Johnson, who plays Eleanor, who's the caretaker at the old folks' home, is trying to track them down to get Zach to come back home because she's responsible for him. And hijinks ensue. Everybody has a good time. We don't have a good time. Good stuff happens. Bad stuff happens. But it's an epic journey of monumental proportions.
Oh, yeah. It's an epic journey, not just in the things that happen, but in the growth of the characters. You really see them grow from, Zach's character of being just, this is the only thing I want to do. I don't really know about the world. I've only been in this, assisted living home for a while because I have no family. This is my world. This is this tiny little thing. So he goes out and experiences the entire world. Whereas Tyler has been out in the world. He knows the good and the bad. But he now gets to see it through Zach's eyes. And it's a fantastic coming together of those two characters. And their bond is so realistic that when it came out later that they became friends in real life, I was like, yeah, that makes so much sense.
I completely agree with that. Their bond in the movie is the crux of the entire movie. It's what holds everything together, and it's absolutely pure. It's absolutely beautiful. They don't obviously start as friends when they first meet. Zach happens upon Tyler. Well, Tyler's running from his past, and he doesn't have anybody, so he kind of attaches to him. And they even have to establish rules of what can and cannot happen because they don't really know each other.
What's rule number 1?
Party. No, rule number 1's not party. It becomes maybe rule number 1. But at first, it's really a struggle for them to get along because they don't know how to deal with each other. But as they spend time together and they're on this adventure and they're really just getting to know the world together, it blooms into this beautiful part. There's a point in the movie that I can't express enough how much it'll hit your heart, where they're on a raft and they're talking, and there's just this beautiful line from Zach to Tyler about it's Zach's birthday coming up, and he tells Tyler, if I could, I will give you all my birthday wishes.
It is the most beautiful
and
sentiment of love ever.
It is. It's such a sentiment of love, and it comes at a point where their relationship is peaking. It's really hitting that sweet spot of, this is why we're here. This is what this movie is about. This is that moment where, if you're not already crying, grab your Kleenex because you're going to be crying. I mean, that's almost like my new way of wanting to tell people how much I care for them, that they can have all my birthday wishes, because it's just so pure.
It is so pure.
But it's not all fun and games after that. Dakota Johnson, Eleanor catches up to him and she's trying to convince him to come home, and maybe we don't get the ending that we thought we should get. And it's a roller coaster ride. It's not just sweet, sweet, sweet the entire time. There's ups, there's downs, there's ebbs, there's flows.
Which makes it rather lifelike. Nothing's ever going to go exactly to plan. And for this whole ragtag team, it feels so natural, the ebbs and flows of, the highs and lows and the happiness and the sadness and the frustration. And you feel it all because it feels so natural and well-paced.
Yeah, and it really does. And speaking of, the happiness and the frustration, stick around till the end of the video and I'll give you a fun fact that kind of deals with those emotions about the movie. Mm-hmm. So stick around, learn this fun fact. But, if you want to.
Do it. Do it now.
I'll give you all my birthday wishes. No. So, yeah, it's a beautifully told story through the eyes of these two characters that bond so well, but it's not just their bond that makes this movie wonderful. Tyler and Eleanor, Shia LaBeouf and Dakota Johnson have great chemistry on screen together as well. Not a big fan of hers. I don't think she's
Could
really that
that be
great
from another
anything.
movie?
50 Shades of...
I think it's blocking you.
Just not a huge fan of hers, but she plays off Shia so well that you believe what they're doing as well. It's just such a complete movie in that aspect. But it's also the pacing. Never once was I like, okay, what's coming next? Or, oh my god, rewind it, I missed what happened. It's just paced and edited so well that the camera isn't a camera. It's the third person and then the fourth person on this journey, and you're a part of it. So you're getting everything you need without ever missing anything or without ever feeling like everything's dragging too long. So just wonderfully technically in that aspect. The music, the score is wonderful as well.
Feel it right in the heartstrings.
Yeah, the bond between the characters and how they act to each other is, gonna have your eyes swelling up, and you're like, no, fighting them back, not gonna happen.
And I'm just like, yes, okay.
And then the score hits, and it hits you with these few notes, and all of a sudden just the dam breaks. You're done. It adds so much depth to it. The cinematography is wonderful. The locations are wonderful. Oh. Yeah, it's not anything magical. It's not Fiji. It's not the outbacks of Australia. It's not the top of Mount Everest. It's not wonderful locations. But it's a beautiful setting. Especially for this story. It adds so much personality to the film.
Oh, yeah.
So, technically, it's a wonderful film as well. The dialogue is written great. It's nothing unrealistic. So,
yeah. One of my favorite aspects of this movie is that we get to see how different people react to people with disabilities. And I think that it showed one of the best ways that someone can react and interact with someone with disabilities, and that's just to treat them like a human being. You get to see the difference between how Eleanor, the caretaker, takes care of Zach, and how Tyler, his friend, just takes care of Zach. Because they both take care of him in certain aspects, but Eleanor's like, no, I have to do everything for him. He can't do it. He can't do this. He can't do that. And then Tyler comes over and is like, he can do it. He can do whatever he wants to do. And he just treats him so wonderfully. And it's almost as if he becomes a brother. And it was so beautiful to see the difference and show, like, on the raft, there's another scene where Tyler gets to tell Eleanor, like, yeah, you love him and you're helping him, but you're also holding him back. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was such a beautiful representation, and it added such an extra element to the movie for me.
And it worked really well, too, because I think the actors themselves really represented part of that, at least, because if you're unaware, Zach Gottsagen is a 23, 24-year-old with Down syndrome in real life. I mean, this movie got the seal of approval from, oh God, forgive me, draw a blank right now, but one of the large disability sectors who watch movies and certify them, like, you showed a great representation or you showed a terrible representation. And they got the seal of approval because they play it so well. Yeah, it's every aspect of this film is going to hit you in some way. And that's exactly what films should do. I don't know about you, but this movie makes it in my top 10 of 2019.
Oh, clearly. Might
be in my top 5, bordering right on that number 5 spot, 4 to 6, somewhere in there.
We had some pretty great movies last year.
we did. Parasite being one of them, and just so many others. But this movie is something that you don't know you need until you watch it, and then you want to watch it again and again and again, and you want to find more movies like it because it's something special.
You feel it so much that you want to hold on to it as tight as you can.
So watch Peanut Butter Falcon. It's a great movie that you will not be disappointed that you spent. And it's a quick movie, too. Yeah. You know, it's not 2.5 hours or anything like that. It's not an hour 15 either. It runs somewhere around like an hour 50. But it's so worth it. And you won't even notice all the time that went by while watching it because you'll be so engrossed in what's happening. So check it out. Love it. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Now it's fun fact time. So the fun fact about this movie is the writers and producers met Zach Gottsagen outside of a party and got to know him a little bit, and he expressed his desire to become an actor. But he couldn't really get roles. People weren't looking for people with Down syndrome to play roles. He was struggling, but he wanted to be an actor so badly, but he just didn't know how to do it. So the producers and the writers then got together and wrote this entire movie for him. They wrote it with him in mind. They knew exactly who was going to play this role. They wrote that he had Down syndrome for that reason, but instead of desiring to be an actor, he desired to be a professional wrestler. So it could kind of say it's almost like Zach's real life played out on film and how, we get there. But it's just so nice to see that they met him, fell in love with him, because by all accounts he seems like such a wonderful person, and wanted to give him his shot, and oh boy did he deliver.
Oh, it is so beautiful.
He's wonderful. So anyway, just remember, rule number 1 is party. And let us know what you thought about the movie, or any other movies, or what you think we're doing here, or any movies you'd like us to watch and kind of give our opinions on. Down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, all those things you know how to do. And until next time, bye.